I saw a very interesting video over the break from a very well known career coach and mentor who was really of the opinion that the resume is dead, that it's going to go away, and mainly for the reason that now resumes are packed with keywords. We've all used the artificial intelligence tools to try and game the system to get in the door for the interviews. And of course, when human resources on the other side are meeting with people that have come through and the resume looked great, in reality they just didn't cut the mustard when they got into that in-person interview, and they're finding that the experience wasn't quite right. It sort of looked good on paper but really wasn't stacking up. And this is why we're starting to see a real shift in the interview processes. So first and foremost, the number one trend we're now seeing in the market is the resumes are not effectively screening the wrong candidates out. And as a result, companies are now embracing interviews that are AI generated and video based, and forcing you to go into a recruitment process where you're not necessarily meeting with an actual human being, and potentially wasting human resources time. You're going through a recruitment process which is dictated by interview and video. And they're getting you onto a video call. You're being invited into a recruitment process. You're being invited to an interview, but you are being interviewed by the AI tools. You are being asked questions on the spot and you're having to answer those questions, but you're not actually interacting at this stage with a human being. Now, that is the huge trend in the market, and so it's a lot harder to fudge that process, and it does mean you've got to really brush up on your interview skills and your video presence. And I think overall, my main piece of advice to all executives is to really think about how you set yourself apart from others and how you really boost that video presence. Now, I do videos all the time, and as a result, I do get better at my presentation. And I have a whole cohort of clients who are really reluctant to get on video. But this is the new paradigm, and you really want to use video to cut through. And in fact, I've got a lot of people now who, instead of sending me an email, they'll send me a video message. And 9 out of 10 times I'll click on that video message and it's a lot more engaging. I can engage with those people very quickly. I can ascertain the key messages. I make assessments as to whether I want to take it forward. And that's how you want to, sort of really view this whole recruitment process now. There are going to be additional steps to get you in the door. Now, of course, with videos, you can still have a lot of challenges there, especially if there's no human being involved. It's an AI based tool. That means there could be bias built into that tool to assess you. But it still does mean you've got that opportunity to bring that human element to the table and to bring that information across. So my strong advice would be to pre-prepare video answers, practice, do as much of that as possible before you go into that process, because most of these processes now, you don't get advised in advance what the questions are going to be necessarily. You're going to be asked questions on the cuff, so you're providing off the cuff answers, but you can predict what they're going to ask. Almost always, the key questions center around 5 key themes, which are: why are you looking for work? Why are you interested in working for us? What do you believe you bring to the table? What differentiates you from other candidates? And what are your salary expectations? I can almost guarantee that in that screening interview, if it's done via video, it's going to cover those 5 key themes. That gives you a huge advantage to be able to prep effectively, to get your key messages right, and to really land on those messages through the video content. You might find it's only a 10-minute interview. It's a screening interview. But increasingly, we're seeing companies adopt this as part of their recruitment process. So AI is definitely impacting human resources. It's definitely impacting recruitment processes. And as a candidate in this space, you need to rise to the challenge. You need to be aware of the new paradigm. And I would really be embracing your own thought leadership, sharing it on video, getting used to the whole concept, so that when these processes come up, it's not anything that's going to be a real challenge for you. You're not on the back foot. You're not going to be nervous on camera. You're going to be able to get those key messages across in that recruitment process.